Well, good evening and welcome to Friday Night Blitz postgame. Ray Halbrook here from Livestream STL Media. Another amazing night of high school football just wrapping up. I'm actually watching a game as we speak right now. Poplar Bluff and Hillsboro wrapping things up, but we have a ton of scores going on here. And before I get rolling here, I'm going to set up the scores here. We do have the video chat open for coaches, so we hope that coaches can jump on board here as we get things started. Again, if you were out and about today, do us a favor, like and share today's tonight's show here right now, and we would love to maybe get some comments as well over on Facebook, especially. We'll bring your comment up on throughout the night, and if you've got comments or questions, we're just going to open the line up, and we'll see what we can do there. But I'm going to open up the Facebook page here in just a second here. Friday Night Blitz post game live. We are loading comments as we speak, so definitely. Give us your comments on any of the games that you might have been out and about to tonight. Again, we've got a ton of games going on here that we're rolling, trying to get Mrs. Livestream. She's actually out and about today to a game out at Marquette. Middle son is one of the band teachers out there, kind of a student teacher right now, and she was able to see the halftime show and be able to update. So we appreciate Mrs. Livestream, the wifey Michelle, being able to jump on board and get us updated there. So as we continue to get things open, I am going to try to read through some of the scores here since we are on radio as well. So we would love to get again some of your comments as well during tonight's show, and hopefully we'll be able to kind of see that as we speak when we come up here as from time to time. And we will again tell you to like and share. If you're out on all of our different outlets, we would love to have you like all of those outlets there on the socials. So Friday Night Blitz, our area scores are as follows for the radio here. Poplar Bluff right now leading 36-28 over Hillsboro. St. Vincent defeats Jefferson 50-35. That is a final now. Grandview and Crystal City. Crystal City defeats Grandview 40-33. Jackson defeats Festus 43-7. Windsor and Bayless. Windsor's got 24. We don't know how many points Bayless has. DeSoto defeats Herky 43-6. North County and Sullivan, we do not have a score for right now. Perryville and Cuba 32-6. Perryville wins again. Valley St. John 39 and St. Pius 20, 63-28. Boy, they're going too fast. I'm so sorry. 63-28. That was actually Eureka over Pattonville. And then in the second quarter right now, we've got a 12-6 score. Northwest winning over Oakville right now. So those are some of our scores right now as we are trying to get where we're at on this particular game. Hillsboro and Poplar Bluff. Poplar Bluff still up 36-28. Looks like there's 22 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. And Hillsboro has the ball, so they could possibly score here and tie the game here with a 2-point conversion. So we will keep you updated on that as well. No coaches on right now. I know some of our games are still finishing up, so we're going to kind of be a little lenient on that. And I know Jeff was out at the same game as we were as well. Brian Kaplinger's out at a game right now, still calling the game, so we're a little bit later on some of these games ending. We will let you know also, don't forget, Monday night we will have, upon further review, Matt Bates, Jeff Whitener, myself, we will have that at 6 o'clock. We'll recap all these games preview the first round of districts, and then we'll also crown a player of the week and some honorable mentions, maybe even some predictions, some bold predictions and whatnot. So we're still taking a look into some of the games here. Brent Roth is actually on the. We're going to get him on right away here. Coach Roth, my friend, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, what does it feel like being 8-1, man?
Oh, it feels pretty good, man.
Yeah,
That's a good sound. I'm up running this office real quick, so I can
you're
hear
all
you.
good, man. Hey, we've had people in way worse areas and places and things like that. So get yourself settled in. We've got a couple minutes here. We just got
Yeah, I'm good.
started here. So big win again tonight. Take us through the game there, Coach.
Yeah, no, we came out firing. Got a touchdown on our. We got the ball, drove down and scored. Drew Lykel got a touchdown. He ended up with 2 touchdowns tonight. And then let's see, Cade Lucky had a couple big scrambles. We were having a little trouble with pass protection. They were kind of bringing the house on us and having a tough time running the ball up the middle and getting pass protection. So we had to scheme some things up to get guys open. And then, when you got a quarterback that can take off and run, it sure helps. So there's some times things broke down. Cade had a couple big runs. Barrett Wheeler ended up getting another touchdown. We got a pick 6 in the first half. I think it was 35-0 at halftime, something like that. If my math is correct. And then we came out in the second half, and we put Evan Hayden, our backup quarterback, in. He hasn't gotten any reps really, even in practice, and just kind of wanted to prepare for that in the playoffs. If for whatever reason we were ever to need him, we thought it was a good opportunity to get him in, and then just kind of got out of our groove. I don't know that he necessarily played bad, but just kind of got the whole offense out of groove. And we did not score in the second half. Had trouble moving the ball. Had big holding penalties. Every time we got something good going, there was a flag on the field. So defense held strong. Got the goose egg in the first half, and then had some bad field position in the second half, and was able to force some turnovers on down. So 8-1, man. Proud of our guys. They battled all year, and we're got to prepare for the playoffs now. So now it's told our seniors, next time you lose, you're done. You're hanging it up. So
yeah. Yeah, it's definitely go time, and things are high stakes at this point from here on out. We were down to cover your game against Herculaneum Saturday. Beautiful day out there, and took care of business out there against my Herky Black Cats. But we, going into this, we took a look at you guys at the beginning of the season and said, this could be the turning point, and it definitely has been right now. You guys took that risk, I guess, low risk, but, low risk, high reward. And it turned out. And so, do you think, and I'm just asking this hypothetically, and I know you've got to kind of wait and see how things pan out here for district playoffs and how deep you guys end up getting to go. But, does that put you guys in a position now where you just take a look at, hey, we've been in that large school division. Are we ready to go back? Is that a question yet at this point?
Yeah. I mean, right now we're just trying to win football games.
Sure.
I've been a part of this program my entire life, and we've been through some hard times. So right now we're just enjoying 8-1. We'll worry about that stuff in the off season.
Yeah.
We're winning football games right now. I don't care who it's against, and our goal now is to just keep on winning and one game at a time. Because again, you don't get another one. So
right.
We're just taking it what's in front of us right now.
Do you happen to know who you'll be matched up against next Friday?
Nothing's finalized, obviously, but I believe Hillsborough lost tonight.
They did. They just lost.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're trying to hold them off for the 2 seed, so we should have been able to do that. And we should get Windsor round 1 in Perryville. So,
all right. Well, tremendous job this season. Being able to have 2, 3, 4 just quality players. We saw Lucky up close and personal. He's the real deal, and others. But you know, and it takes time. We know that it takes time as a coach to, develop players like that. Um, Give us maybe a little bit of, was there something different that you guys did this year than you have in the past?
I mean, not really. I really do think it's just a credit to these players, man. We just got a good group of kids, you know, I, we open it up a little bit in the passing game. We're a little more advanced.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the same thing that we've done in the past, but we're just kind of adding some wrinkles to it. I think that's helped. And then I guess the only different thing we did was in the summer we did a lot of stuff in June and kind of backed up in July a little bit. But I don't know if that made a big difference. But really,
Right.
it's a credit to the kids, man. They're just a good group of players and they play hard and they're winning football games right now.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to you. Take some time off here, get a little rest tonight, and next week it's go time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No rest, man. We're going right into it.
There you go. There you go. Appreciate the time there, Coach Brent Roth with the Perryville Pirates. As we jump back here real quick, and we say again, if you're on the line here, on Facebook, especially, you've got a question, a comment, maybe something you saw tonight as far as games are concerned. We'd love to hear your comments. We'd love to hear maybe a question as well. We're waiting for a few coaches to jump on the line here, and a lot of these games tonight are getting finished a little bit later than normal. Not quite sure why that is, but some of great games. Again, we'll throw up some of these scores that have been, great games. We covered our game over at Jefferson. I was over at Jefferson as the Blue Jays, knew they had a tough task in front of them, but made an amazing game. Even though they dropped 50-35, it was a very entertaining game this evening. And other games we're seeing Crystal City. I'm waiting for Coach Adam Sims come walking in here and giving me a ring here, and maybe even Coach Atley as well, to kind of talk, because 50-35 for that Jefferson game, that was not at all anything to shy away from against the number one ranked team in the state, the St. Vincent Indians in Class 2. So lots of great things to talk about. I see Brett Tebow's on the line. I see Lisa Rigdon. How you doing? Hopefully you're next to Ron. Tell Ron I said hi. Folks that are on the line, definitely give us a shout out, or a message, or a question, or maybe a comment about the game that you saw. Score for Central versus Farmington. We don't cover those games, so I do not know. So I'm sorry, Pamela Dement. We do have a ton of folks that ask us, "Hey, are you covering this game?" No, we are not. So it is mainly Jefferson County, which is the I-55 conference, and the Quad Counties conference, Quad County there. But some fun games tonight. Took a look at Crystal City winning winning a big game over Grandview. You take a look at teams like that right now that are doing what they can to steer the ship in the right direction there. So and they finished the season. So take that, all of you other outlets that have told the Crystal City Hornets that they weren't going to make it. I kind of felt like if they had the right mindset, and you pick up a few extra, and they did pick up a few extra players once the season started, they were going to be able to make it through. So that's a testament to good coach over there in Adam Sims. So appreciate that. Again, we're going to run over our scores here real quick. The Eureka final is 63-28. North County versus Sullivan. We have no idea what the score is on that. If you could give us an update on that would be great, because we don't know. So North County and Sullivan, right now we had a 0-0 scores, and being down in Sullivan there, a lot of times some of those games come in a little bit late and a little bit delayed. So we'll just leave it at that. You're seeing more scores here. You saw St. Vincent 50-35 over Jefferson, Grandview 33, Crystal City 40, Jackson 43, Festus 7. Windsor 24. We don't know what the score of Bayless had. DeSoto 43, Herculaneum 6. Sullivan and North County, we don't know. Perryville, again, we saw the 32-6. That was in the third quarter. I should have asked Coach about the final score. 39-20, Valley over St. Pius. That was in the second quarter. 63-28 is the final score there for, golly, it's going too quick. It's just going too fast, folks. I'm so sorry. And we'll catch that Seckman game as well. Pam Dement is saying she thought it's 35-8. I would assume that would be a North County over Sullivan score. We'll see. We will see. So we will take a look into some of our posts here as well, and we do have Matt Bates about ready to jump on his board on as well here. I'm going to give you a second to get yourself set up here, Matthew, before we bring you on here. So, and I want to get a couple of our commenters as well. So we do have some folks that have commented left and right up here. We love that. Appreciate the posts here. Lisa Rigdon saying hi. She's giving us a final score there as well. And Matthew Bates, we are going to bring you on here. Matthew, how are you, my friend?
I'm worn out, Ray. I'm a little tuckered.
Yeah, you had a heck of a game over there, it looked like there. Crystal City defeats Grandview. What was that final score again?
40-33.
Wow, what a game. What a game there.
Could have been a lot worse because Evan Wolf picked off another pass tonight at the 11-yard line in the fourth quarter, and they basically just took a knee, ran out the clock. But I want to go back to something just real quick before we dive too far in.
All right.
On our Upon Further Review show, have we ever had a trifecta of Player of the Weeks? Because right now, this Crystal outfit, I've been thinking long and hard, like, could we do a team Player of the Week? But when I'm looking at some of the numbers that individually went off the charts tonight, where if these three guys were on other teams, they could be in the running, but they just happen to all be on the same team. I've got the Rico Pastrana tonight, 19 carries for $105.
There you go.
Landon DeRoos. Now the running numbers aren't going to jump out. He had 12 carries, 41 yards, but he had 3 receptions for 100 yards and a TD.
Okay.
Nolan Ice. Well, we'll get to Nolan in just a second. Evan Wolf, 4 receptions, 115 yards, 2 TDs, and 3 INTs on defense. Nolan Eisenbeis, 10 for 11 tonight, misses 1 pass, 250 yards, and 4 TDs. No INTs.
Wow. Well, yeah, impressive night for all those guys.
This was a game where tonight I was chatting with Ricardo and Nolan. Down around the field, they were thanking us for the coverage, everything. Rico was like, he was like, that was a big deal the other week when he was an honorable mention. He was like, you guys could throw darts all over, land on other teams. Thank you guys for noticing us. He's like grinning ear to ear.
Right.
But I told him, I go, when players have good weeks, that's what you got to be recognized for.
Right.
And
right.
I said, so whether you're at, any of the bigger schools, whether you're at a smaller school, I said, doesn't matter. I said, with what we do, like that can't fly under the radar.
Right.
I said, so let's take a peek and have a great game tonight. Maybe you'll be in the running.
Right.
Well, I look at the job that Nolan did, the job that Evan Wolf did. I got to tell you, I'll send you the stats and we can ruminate over them and all of that. But I got to tell you right now, this was a game that Isaac Walker, I would like to see the numbers from Grandview on him. The big man went back to wearing number 44 tonight.
Oh, man.
And I got to tell you, it was another classic Isaac Walker, putting the head down, rambling, running, 8, 12 yards a shot. Then they would toss pitch out to Kime, let him do his thing around the end. But this was one of those games where, you remember, what was it, last week? Kind of like that Thursday game we did for Northwest where like it just seemed like it was played in one end of the field most of the night. It seemed like Grandview for the longest time just kept having short fields to work with, couldn't put a lot in. They went down first possession, went up 6-0, whatever. But then it just turned into where when you're looking at the teams going for the 2 points, Crystal City left, I think, 5 to 6 points on the table on 2-point conversions that were missed. But you look at the punting game where week after week we talk about special teams and just something as simple as the long snap back to the punter. Well, the first punt tonight for Crystal City, I literally could have turned around, rolled the ball back to the punter, and got him just as creamed as he did whenever he was trying to get the snap. The second one, Kime partially blocked it. The third one was a clean snap, and Westbrook was able to tuck it inside the 5-yard line. But when the short fields that Grandview had to work with, the one time they had the longest field to work with was their last possession in the fourth quarter. They had to go 96 yards, and Martin out of his end zone on a long third down tried heaving one out of the end zone. Well, Evan Wolf almost had a pick six on it, but he just stepped out when he caught it at the 10, 11-yard line. But this was just – I call it big boy football. This was 2A big boy football up and down the field that you could tell both teams that even in a non-conference game, like, if I got something like home field advantage for the districts on the line, you could see they were trying to leave everything out on the field tonight. Right. And the Hornets, they gave them everything and then some, Ray. It was a great job tonight by Crystal City.
Yeah. Hey, let's put that on hold for just a quick second. We'll come right back to it. I've got Coach Russ Schmidt here on the line as well. Coach, my friend, somebody got to shave their beard tonight. I know that. That's all I got to say about that particular game. So I did hear about that. So, Coach, hey, you guys came up over on the top there. You're now 5-4, and you come away with a regular season winning season. So it's got to be something great to build upon here for the rest of the way.
Yeah, the kids played well tonight. They played 48 minutes. We had a situation where we knew coming in that Herculaneum was banged up and had lost some kids. So we prepared to get our kids some reps, our young kids. So we got in a situation for the first time. I was told, we're coming out of the locker room at halftime, and I'm walking down with my seniors, and it was kind of a surreal moment because they have never been in a position where the JV has had the opportunity to play a quarter of a football game in the second half. Right. So it just goes to show you the things that these kids were able to accomplish already this year. And we're not done playing football yet. We still have another opportunity next week down at North County. So, right. And to talk, I was listening to your conversation. We blocked a punt tonight. We had a kickoff return tonight for a touchdown late in the game. So all three phases are very important in the outcome of football games, especially this time of year.
Yep, absolutely. I remember interviewing you at the beginning of the season last year. You were more worried last year about getting your kids playing safely. You were worried about getting the proper gear, the proper equipment, things like that. Look where you guys have come from here, in such a short amount of time. And I know that that's got to just be, ecstatic for the program, but also for, administration's got to be happy with that too as well.
I hope so. The buy-in from the kids has been the critical part. And then the time in the off season, the staff, you put into this, it's a lot of work. People, I don't think they realize football is 365 days. It's really, if you want to be successful, you're working at it all the time. You're always trying to figure out how to gain an advantage. Today we didn't have school, so we brought the kids in around noon, and we had a cornhole tournament. We did a lot of things with them today to build relationships and have fun, and it just made the whole evening a great experience for our kids.
Absolutely. Matt Bates, you got a question for Coach Schmidt?
Coach, great job getting that 5th win this season. Well done. And again, that's a kudos to you. You're the captain of the ship, and everything flows down to the players from you. And I can only imagine being in that situation myself as well too, where, playing a half of a football and getting the younger kids behind me that means something whenever that second staff can come in. Some of the JV kids can get almost even like a full quarter, if not even a quarter and a half. Says a lot. And normally, we were always talking about starters, this and that. But was there somebody in the younger crew that you saw tonight that might have stood out to you that might have not been on the radar, but is on the radar now, possibly?
No, I thought all of our kids performed really well when they were given the opportunity in the second half. Dominic Eakins, one of our wrestlers, played well defensively on the defensive side of the ball. You asked that question this somebody that jumps out to mind right now, but they all did well. And I want to deflect some of that comment towards my staff. Last year we got started late. We really didn't get an opportunity to embrace each other and have the relationships you need to working relationships, the understanding of expectations and the things like that. And none of this is possible without their support, without the administration. I just happen to be in a pretty good spot right now where I'm surrounded by successful coaches, and that's something I've always, and in my career has always tried to surround myself with people that are bought in and try to and want to work for you. And that's the really, I talk about relationships with the kids. It's just as important to have relationships with your coaches as well. And going back to, I shared with the kids about the JV comment, when you start having sustained success and you can get your JV in a second half of a football game for a quarter or for 10 minutes, those are big opportunities for those kids to grow and learn how to compete with the older kids. So then when my 11 seniors graduate, the kids coming up then have a taste of what it's already going to be like, and it's not going to be new to them.
Excellent. Well, Coach, we appreciate the time. I know you got to turn the page real quick here and start thinking about next week. Do you know who you're playing next week?
North County.
North County. Oh, you did say that, so there you go.
Yeah, it was thought to be Hillsborough early on, and everything started trickling in on the website, and I hit the refresh button, and literally like right before my eyes, we flipped Sykeston, and so yeah, we're headed down to North County again.
All right. Well, congratulations on the win, and definitely good luck to you next week. Matt, you got another question?
No, sir. Just proud
Okay.
of the job up and down that Coach Schmidt and his crew was able to do to get to 5 wins. I mean, again, impressive up and down, sir.
Appreciate
Thank
that.
you, guys.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for chiming in week to week, because I know that it's important to you, and you get it, and you understand the reason why we're doing what we're doing. So we appreciate that.
I think back, I've never missed an opportunity, win or lose, to talk about our kids. I think that's what gets missed.
Yeah.
Just you take some bad losses, you still have to do your diligence and promote your kids in your school district. And I hope that the young coaches out there that are getting new in this business understand that's an incredible value to have.
Right. We'll take your phone call. We'll let you go, bud.
Thank you. Have a good
All
evening.
right. Have a great night.
Bye.
All right. Here we go. We 2 coaches out of the way, Brent Roth and Coach Russ Schmidt, and Matt will bring you back here real quick. And I'll just say this, real quick. I know you haven't seen this score, but I'm going to give you a score here that absolutely floored me. And I'll bring it up right now. Here it comes. Northwest over Oakville, 31-27.
Are you kidding me?
In fact, I just got a text. I just got a message from Ryan Stark, who's Cohen's dad, sends me 3 videos of some of the game out at Oakville. So pretty impressive, pretty stoked win there, I'm sure, there for Northwest over Oakville there.
Right, with what we do, my man. You look at this season, DeSoto, 5 wins. Northwest, 5 wins. Crystal City, 4 wins. Again, teams that people want to highlight on their schedule to be like, okay, maybe this is where we can take a week off. Ain't happening anymore, brother.
All right. Yeah, there is no weeks off now. And I'm doing a little update here for more scores here as we speak. Special thanks to Mrs. Livestream, who's been out and about all over the place. I don't know if you heard, she was actually out at Marquette because Curtis is out there with marching band. So she's updating while the game's going on at halftime. She sees the marching band, and then she's got to do more updates. So there you go.
That's dedication, I tell you.
Yeah. So it's
Ray, before any other the coaches jump in real quick, can you talk to me a little bit about that Jefferson St. Vincent game? I'd seen the score at halftime. It was 2014, or I don't know if it was officially at half, but I had seen Jefferson was up 2014. Even though seeing the final score, that just seemed like it turned into a slugfest there at the end. And
It was.
I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like my signal might be breaking up on me.
Nope, looks good to me right now. So everything's good here
Oh,
on this
okay,
end.
good.
So we're just gonna roll with it, boss.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
what did you see tonight from Jefferson? Because it looked like they went toe to toe with him for a little
they
while.
They did, and I mean, I am extremely proud to be able to have called that game, even though they lost. The heart and just the amazing performance. Cooper Frisk throws a whole. He threw, he ran, he just sure-footed some players and things like that, but just wasn't enough. The first half, I think St. Vincent kind of played a lot of conservativeness right now with their the run game. Second half, all they did, it seemed to me like they threw the ball too much, I thought. And I even made a comment on it. It was just like, hey, you throw the ball X amount of times, but you've got who you've got back there who is a monster gunslinger. You're not the number one team in the state for any reason,
Right.
So they threw the ball a little bit more than I thought they would, but they were effective. I mean, it might have been three passes out of 7 that they connected, but they were 40, 50, 60 yard passes. So
that was something when I saw the score that kind of jumped out, and I just wanted to get from you, and to hear they broke out a passing game. Not that they don't have it. Again, that's something that a number 1 ranked team should have. But I was expecting you to tell me that they just pulled out a rush offense that just started torching Jefferson up and down the field. But to hear that wasn't the case.
No, I mean, it became a barn burner for a little while, and the unfortunate part was, St. Vincent had a few extra receivers that were able to catch the ball. Is what it really kind of came down to.
So now, with a chance you got to see him up close and personal, St. Vincent, it's kind of like covered, where they're kind of here, not here, but. What did you see from St. Vincent where you were like, this is a number 1 ranked team, and this is what's going to be tough to stop them?
I mean, they were playing with a little bit of extra swagger. They were playing with a ton of confidence, and Coach Matt Atley just jumped on, so I know we're going to ask him a little bit about that too. But the amount of just confidence, I think they really had a ton of. Just a ton of poise. I mean, they weren't rushed. Didn't seem like much was kind of bothering them too much. But when you're playing like that, and you've been playing like that all season, it's the game kind of comes a little bit easier. So let's bring Coach Matt Atley on as he's trying to get himself set up there. Coach, are you around to chat with us, Coach?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, we were just talking a little bit about the game, and I don't think I misspoke by any means, but give us your thoughts on the game.
Well, it was pretty much what you expect Jefferson St. Vincent game to be. At this point, I've been around, I think 11 of them, and I don't think I've ever seen a blowout. I don't think I've ever seen anything other than just 2 teams where records don't matter, and they just flat get out there and get after it. And that's, that was no different tonight. They're a very good football team. They're a very good football program. Coach Schumer has those kids rolling pretty good right now.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm going to give you guys some of the credit here. You had the lead there for most of the game, and it was it was just one of those things where I kind of felt like you kind of instilled in a lot of these players, hey, we're here too. We're not going to make this easy on you. And we're, if you're going to give us an inch, we're going to try to take it a mile like you do to anybody else.
Yeah. I mean, I think we had a bit of a rough week last week. We didn't play what we, it's up to our capabilities against a good St. Gen team. and it really showed. You know, that was kind of our goal this week is we got to rebound, and we have to come out on top. And, you know, we didn't quite do that, but getting a couple of our leaders back, we had Jake Watkins tonight who played a good game for us on the O-line and on the defensive side. And Carson Hafner had a good game for us,
Yeah,
too.
he did.
And, you know, when you bring back leaders that are vocal, everyone up, it makes a world of difference.
Yeah.
So,
Jeff Whitener and I were having a small little conversation. He said, you know, when you bring in a Carson Hafner back in, you're able to put everybody kind of back where they needed to be. And, you know, you kind of saw that once you plug and play a Carson Hafner in, you know, things kind of clicked a little bit better. And I felt like that was a huge shot in the arm for you guys.
yeah, I mean, Carson's a good athlete, and he's, you know, I guess one of the positives about him getting injured, if there ever is one, is that it forced us to be more balanced with what we did offensively. We kind of didn't have him to rely on. And so, you know, you got to give a big shout out. Brandon Crater still got in and got some reps for us at the running back position and did a great job. You know, Landon Weiss still did a good job for us. So we were able to be a little bit more balanced and you know, when you score 35 points, you like to think you win a football game.
Right.
Today, that wasn't, you know, it's not quite the case when you play the number one ranked team in Class 1.
Yeah. So do you know who you're playing next week?
I believe Priory, if everything stands the way it is.
Okay. And you definitely will host no matter what, correct?
Yeah, we should.
Okay. All right. Well, good deal. And we'll probably be picking your game to cover. So look for us again 3 weeks in a row. How about that, Coach?
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate the time, Coach. Go get some rest a little bit and start the playoffs, right?
Yep, absolutely. I'll see you guys. Appreciate what you do.
All right. Appreciate it there, Coach. And we had Scott Gerling on the line there. Scott, if you're still poking around there, pop back on and we'll get you on. But Matt, we'll bring you back over here real quick. You know, I don't think by any means you take a look at that game there with Jefferson, and it was as advertised. I mean, it was a two higher powered offenses that rose to the occasion. It was just one just outshot the other one just a little bit.
And the score of that game, that correct me, was at 50-35. Is that what
50 to 35? Yeah.
So and that's what I was thinking too. Whenever Coach brought that up, that 50-35. So I mean, essentially 15-0. If you will, 15-point loss. Yeah. And again, against a team like a St. Vincent, yeah, we can talk Class 3 playing Class 1, whatever, but this is still like one of those odd outliers, like a Valley Catholic that play a bigger class than really kind of what they are on paper.
Right.
But the number that they've been doing on teams all year anyway, that, to only have like a 15-point loss to these guys, regardless of however many you gave up, still something to, put a feather in your cap on. And, you didn't get blown out. You didn't get embarrassed, and you hung in there with them. And, again, another team that might have thought, hey, week 9, let's get through this game at Jefferson, whatever. But, when you get to halftime and, you're down by 6, you got to rethink some things at halftime. And that was kind of what I saw tonight at that Grandview Crystal City game as well, too. So, your good teams and coaches, they look at the adjustments, how to figure it out. But gosh darn it, Jefferson hung in there tonight, and they went toe to toe with the champ.
Absolutely. Well, we've got Scott Gerling over from the Northwest Lions as well.
All right.
I'm going to bring him in here real quick. Coach Gerling, how about you? How about them Northwest Lions? That's all I got to say.
Yeah, how about them Lions? They did a heck of a job.
I'm having some problems with your audio. I'm not being able to hear you at all. You're kind of cutting in and cutting out. Not sure if it's. Go ahead. Keep trying.
Said, are we any better?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it was a back and forth game, and our kids have been battling all year, and we're able to make enough plays tonight against a very tough Oakville team.
You take a look at your season so far going into this week here, and you knew you had a pretty tough team and a tough task in front of you. What was your game plan going into this week, and did it go as planned?
I mean, we knew we could do some things. We knew that they were a quality opponent, and that's not to take anything away from some of the other teams we played the last few weeks. But Oakville's a good football team.
Mm-hmm.
They've tough sledding of their own at times this year. But I mean, we played them a lot. We played them twice last year. It looks like we're probably going to play them again next week with districts. The way that pans out, so we're pretty familiar with them. But we felt like we could do some things, and we ended up having a little bit more success in the air than what we've done most of the year, which was a little bit different for us. And like I said, we made enough plays on defense, forced some big turnovers, especially at times when they were driving the field. So, kids stepped up, kids made plays when they needed to make them, and that ended up being the difference.
Absolutely. Matt Bates has got a question for you as well.
Sure.
Coach, great job on getting to win number 5 tonight, and I'm sure there had to be some scheming to try to keep that three-headed monster of Max Bradley, Josh Williams, and Eden Malalik in check tonight. Was there maybe a player, or something in the ball game that might have either turned the tide or got the Lions in the direction they needed to go to that stuck out to you?
I mean, I don't know that there's any one play. Like I said, we forced some turnover stuff in the first half. We're able to get a couple of them, and we actually got down 14-0, but it came roaring right back, and we're able to make enough plays to hang tough and draw even before halftime, and then they kicked a field goal to go up 17-14. But at that point, our kids realized that, hey, if we do things right and we stick to it and we stick together, that we can play with these guys. And we did, some more similar stuff like that in the second half. We didn't get too far behind, but made enough plays and drove down the field and made some plays with a couple of minutes left to get ahead, and then made some stops on defense when we needed to grind the clock out.
And great job on advancing, to the postseason where, like this year, Coach, it's, earning your ticket in, not just being able to qualify. So that speaks volumes for what you've been able to do with the program this year.
Oh, I as I tell the guys all the time, half jokingly, I just fill out the paperwork. I don't. That's pretty much my job. I just let the kids play and let the coaches coach. And we've got a great group, both of coaches and kids. And like I said, and I've told you guys all year, we take it 1 week at a time. We try to win one play at a time, and it's been working out well for us at times this year.
Well,
Coach, quick question.
Great regular season, Coach.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Coach, quick question. Do you know who you're playing next week?
Unless something happens with the Misha standings and appeals and stuff like that, it looks like we'll be playing Oakville again and possibly hosting them this time around.
How about that? We'll definitely put that on our radar for you possibly. We'll see how that works out, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Jeff Whitener's on the line too. Jeff, you got a question for Scott Gerling?
Not at this point. I think you guys have covered everything. I just want to congratulate Coach Gerling on a great regular season so far and what he's been able to do with this Northwest Lions team. And more so than anything else, I think really just get the guys to believe in themselves and believe that they can win. And that means so much. I mean, X's and O's count for everything. The weight room counts. But at the end of the day, when you're trying to get a program, I don't say turned around, but headed in a more positive direction as far as wins and losses, it just seems that getting to instill that confidence in the players and they instill that in themselves, I think is a big part. So hats off to you, Coach, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
I appreciate that. And like I said, I give all the credit to the kids and our other coaches, and parents have been great. And we've just really grinded away at trying to do things the right way and understanding if we do that as a team and as a group, then the wins will come with that. And I mean, we're still a young group, so we've been growing up all season, and we're really looking forward to not only this week but the future.
Coach, we appreciate the time, and we'll see you maybe next week.
All right. Oh, thank you guys always for your coverage too.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Scott Gerling there from the Northwest Lions as we buzz, and we'll leave that bottom one down here open for Kaplinger if he decides to show up. He had a late one there over at Hillsboro. Hillsboro drops to Poplar Bluff, and we'll throw those scores back up there real quick. Any scores that you guys can think of here that going through here? I know, Jeff, you'll probably re-update this one more time once we get a half second to breathe. But the, Crystal Grandview, I mean, unbelievable. I mean, you look at the game that we just talked about with Scott Gerling at, Northwest beating Oakville. Any other games?
I had a question for Jeff real quick. If he was able to hear the beginning of Coach Gerling's interview, that when you see the Northwest program, and Coach had said at one point early on they were down 14-0. The last few years that I know that we've covered Northwest, that is something where the team could just pack it in, be like, okay, here we go again. They were down 14-0, righted the ship, Jeff, and they were able to come back and gain a win over a very tough Oakville Tiger team.
Matt, we talk about moments in a game that turn a game here and there. We talk about moments in a season, but we also talk about, programs themselves. A few weeks back, we remember when DeSoto played Hillsborough and played them very tough at the half. And Coach was talking about the fact that, the DeSoto players were thinking, hey, wait a minute, we can play with these guys. And I think somewhere in this game tonight, now I have to go back and look at it, the Northwest Lions and Coach Gerling and his staff, they realized even though they were down, you know what, we can hang with these guys. We can play. And not only that, we can beat them. And I think when you look at those moments, this is another moment within a season and in a game that could mean a lot for the future of the whole program.
This is to me, Jeff, something where you see programs when I know they want to talk about, and I think I talked about it with Drake tonight, where they talk about football IQ, where if you can understand that, like, it isn't just all Max Bradley to Josh Williams and Eden Malalich running the ball. If it could be something like you're one guy wearing like 95 on defense that blocks a punt, or gets a hand on something on like an extra point try, that is something that can click to where, you don't have to rely on all the old reliables, where when, somebody else steps up, you get to that understanding of, hey, we're involved in this team mentality, this team atmosphere. And I think, again, as I mentioned to Drake, and even I think when I got on here tonight, I was telling Ray, you got a Crystal City Hornet team, 4 wins. You got a DeSoto Dragon team, 5 wins. You got a Northwest Lion team, 5 wins. Nobody cares, at least right now, whether they're conference wins, non-conference wins. You got programs that were doormats in recent memory that are now, you got to think twice. And exactly to your point, that Hillsborough DeSoto game at halftime, Hillsborough got punched in the mouth, and they were up against the ropes, and took them 23 minutes to realize what was going on to try to figure out how to right the ship.
Matt, was the Jefferson St. Vincent game tonight, where Jefferson came out with an excellent game plan and executed it, and they really had St. Vincent back on their heels. They scored a touchdown with no time left on the clock in the half. Jefferson did to take a lead, and fortunately for St. Vincent, they came out and made some adjustments in the half and were able to pull away at the end. But for the Jefferson team moving into districts tonight, even with all their guys out, they did get Carson Hafner back, who played a big, important role in the secondary on defense. But it was a game where, here again, the Blue Jays looked up and said, wait a minute, we can play with these guys. And it was a big confidence booster, and it'll be really interesting to see how far they're able to carry that into district play. I'm just looking as we're talking, gentlemen, on the Misha website, and most all of the games have been entered now. So we should be able to talk about brackets very soon here for the first round of districts.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. We'll probably talk a lot about that upon further review as well, Monday at 6 p.m. So tonight, for us to be able to choose these games, I mean, obviously we've got some teams that are going to be having buys. Festus will have a buy. Eureka gets a buy, and so does Seckman. I would think. So I was waiting for this guy to jump on here, so I'm going to wait for him to give me some sort of light so I can see that he's actually on here. Coach Adam Sims is going to jump on here with us, and the interesting part about all this is what will be nice first round, especially, is we will get a couple of those bubble teams that earned they earned the home advantage, but they if it was a deal where these first round buys would not have had the first round bye, then we might not have been able to give them the coverage. But so I'm pretty happy about that. But
well, and Ray, I think another thing that was on the table tonight, if Coach Sims might be able to add on to this, that I think if Crystal lost tonight, their first round game, I believe, would have been against St. Vincent.
Ooh,
So the
yeah.
win for Crystal City was huge tonight,
Yep.
because I think also on the table for Grandview, I think in their round, if I understood the parents correctly tonight, if they won, they would have had St. Pius at Grandview, but I think now it's going to be Grandview on the road, and I think at Pius, but I could be wrong on that. I don't want to speak out of school, but more importantly, we got Coach Sims on the line.
We do, but I'm texting him right
tonight,
now. Yeah.
A win tonight, if you can deflect St. Vincent for another week, hey, hats off to you.
Yeah, give me a second. We're having a small little issue. I can't see him, so I just texted him. I was like, "Can't see you. Can you try to jump on again?" Sometimes you have to. Sometimes the power of the internet and the power of technology is a deal where you got to jump off and jump right back on. So
well,
we all know what that's all about.
To Jeff, real quick, that I know jumping on. Jeff, tonight, Nolan Eisenbeis, you get this: 10 of 11 for 250 yards and 4 TDs, slinging it in the air tonight.
That's an incredible outcome there. The fact that Coach Sims, and hopefully he'll be able to elaborate on this shortly, was able to put the ball up against Grandview like that and be successful. And not seeing the game, and I'll go back and look at it. I'm sure Evan Wolf played a big part of that. Some of the other.
I've got numbers for you on Evan Wolf. He had 4 catches, 115 yards, 2 TDs, and he had 3 INTs tonight.
Both Eisenbeis and Wolf then made huge impacts, I'm sure, on both sides of the ball. I know Eisenbeis is usually their leading tackler too, and adding his name and probably his little brother when he comes up here in a couple years. I think he's 2 years younger than Nolan. I think we're well served with more great Eisenbeis athletes in the county.
I was just getting ready to say, there's another Eisenbeis coming up. Give me a break, right? Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to jump on here and have Adam Sims jump up anyway here. I know we'll just use the audio bite here. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Hey, you got to be flying high right now, my friend, huh?
Yeah, we felt like we had a good week of practice, and we had a lot at stake tonight. We wanted to send the seniors off on a good note with the last regular season game, but more importantly, we talked in July and August and June, and everybody kind of said, I don't know if we're going to even have enough to play, and we were able to piece a roster together. And I know I come in every week and say it, but these guys are battlers, and credit to Jason Kemenall and the Grandview Eagles. They came in and gave us a game, and we did have a lot riding on this. And like you guys have mentioned, Nolan had a great game. Evan had a great game, and we just put it all together. And like I said, it came out with a win for us, and we'll see where the district's seedings stand, hopefully on Sunday. I'm already talking to us coaches, and we're trying to line out. But the great thing is that we get a week to kind of rest and recover and not have to play on Friday. We can do some things, and as of right now, talking to the guys after the game, they're hyped up, ready to go. But we're all healthy, and we were able to play 9 weeks of football, and I can't wait to see the run that hopefully we can put together and hopefully play 1, 2, 3 weeks. And we talked about if we could end up with the 2 seed, we might be able to avoid St. Vincent until the later rounds. And I look forward to hopefully getting there to where we can play them, if they make it a run themselves. But it's an amazing feat to see how the boys grew from week 1 and even in August and July to now being able to say we completed a season, and just looking at the stats and being able to see what we put together. And hopefully everybody realizes that Crystal City football, it's a powerhouse. We're ready to go.
We all have our hands up right now because we all have a question, but I'm going to start the first question. How many players do you have going into next week?
We have all of if I count right, we have 21. We have 21 total, and everyone's eligible, everyone's healthy.
That's 6 more than what you started with at the beginning of the season. Right?
We had a few guys that don't get playing time that are counted in that roster, but I think we're at 20, if I remember right, 2021.
Okay. Hey, that's a testament of just resilience to tell everybody else we're going to make it through the season, and you did. So kudos to you, Jeff Whitener.
On a big
Jeff,
win tonight.
Start again. I just unmuted you. Sorry.
That's all right. Coach, congratulations on a big win tonight against Grandview. I haven't been able to go back and see the game because I was working my own game. As I'm on the Misha site right now, and Charleston beat Sykeston tonight 32-14. Been in looking at the district points, you still are almost 0.6 points ahead of them, and both those games are reported on here. So that would give you the second seed here, which I'm sure was an important goal for you going in. The only team in your district that hasn't reported yet, and I don't know if maybe that's because they play tomorrow, is Veritas Christian Academy.
Yeah, I think they can play tomorrow when we looked it up.
So if I'm looking at this right, would you play Louisiana in the first round and host that game?
I'm not extremely sure. It's possible. I'm waiting to see when the exact when it becomes final. I think we'll know officially on Sunday. I did get some film from Malden, so there's a variety of different. I think there is a team maybe that plays tomorrow, I want to say.
Gotcha.
So I'm not extremely sure who we're going to end up with, but we're going to be ready for whoever it is. If it is Louisiana, if it's Malden, if it's Veritas. But I have not officially really looked deep down into how everyone else finished tonight. I know we were looking at the Charleston Sykeston game, but I haven't seen the exact final yet.
Matt had the call, so I know he's probably got a question or two.
Well, Coach, once again, great job. The 5 wins on the season, again, kudos, great job. Talk to me about, because I had the same gut punch whenever I saw my favorite Italian dish, the Rico Pastrana. Whether it's served hot or cold, it's a great dish. But when he tweaked the ankle and went down, I kind of said, oh bleep internally. What was your conversation with him when you went out? Did he just tell you, Coach, it's okay, not to worry? Because the way he went off with no pressure on that ankle whatsoever, and then he comes back out in the third quarter and jumps over a pile to try to get into the end zone. I told Drake with me tonight, I go, if the ankle was dislocated, I guess it got popped back in and everything's okay.
Yeah, that's the hard thing about these kids that I get the opportunity to work with each week. I don't know how they find the ability to continue after the energy or after an injury, but for whatever reason, I'll walk out on the field and find out what's going on, and we'll get them to the sideline, and some of them might just need a drink of water, some of them might just need to catch their breath, and then they're right back in the game. I mean, these guys, we can't keep them off the field. And he's one that, he may be battling an injury, but he's going to figure out a way to stay in the game because he knows that plays an important role. And I mean, I could go down the list of everybody, and Landon Drews is the same way, and Nolan Eisenbeis, and everybody. They find a way to continue, dig deep down inside, and I don't know. I mean, to be a 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kid, I guess they just have, that drive. It's fun to watch. I do want to mention one thing that I want to give Skylar Fowler some credit. He, as a freshman, he's a little bit undersized, but he was our safety tonight, and he had the task of bringing down Isaac Walker a few times, and we all know that he can.
He did.
As a freshman, we asked him to step in an important role, and he didn't shy away from it. He got in front of him and did everything he could. And I looked at him, I said, "Hey, bud, you're doing at least try to slow him down until you get help." But he took him head on, and I'm sure he's going to feel a little sore in the morning, but.
Oh, he should be, Coach. He had 11 tackles tonight.
Yeah. I mean, but once again, we were able to put everything together, and it feels good that, at the end of the year, we can talk about putting everything together, and we put up 40 points tonight, and that's a good ball club across the way.
Coach, we appreciate the time and enjoy the win, and maybe even the first round bye.
Yeah, that's our goal. I guess the official word will come out on Sunday who we'll get to prepare for, but it looks like we're going to have at least a week to do it. So
very good.
Great
deal,
job,
good deal.
Coach.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate the time. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you for your coverage.
All right. Adam Sims there from Crystal City. And my goodness, we're an hour in. We just kept on talking and great games tonight. Did you just say
Crystal City and first round bye?
Crystal City, first round bye, yeah. Who would ever thought, right?
Just making sure my ears were cleaned out.
Yeah.
Well, and if you look at that district and look at some of the teams that they're seated higher than, I mean, there's some good teams on that list that they're ahead of. It's quite a testament to the team. How can you not root for the small Class 1 school in this situation with a small roster and just all kinds of heart? How can you not root for them?
Jeff, I got to tell you, I was down there on the field tonight. I was talking to Ricardo. I was talking to Eisenbeis, to Roos, and I just told him, I said, "Where's the gas tank coming from?" Because I think we talked in, week out, that come this game, both Grandview and Crystal City both, they're going to be dipped into quite a bit. And, weather held out long enough, whatever, didn't make it any rougher than it needed to be. But when you're talking, a roster, 21 kids, when you look over there, like who's subbing in, it looks like there's just coaches standing there. And you just wonder, like, how did they make it through these 9 weeks? Not only are we talking about them making them through 9, but also going 5-4. And as Ray just said, a first round bye potentially as well too. Talk about a great job by Dynamite and small packages. And I got to tell you, the smile that Ricardo Pastrana has on his face whenever we're down there talking to him, guys, I got to tell you, he's some kind of thrilled with the coverage that the Hornets program's getting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's 11:04. I think we're gonna wrap things up because we don't want to give too much more out so we can I can get Matt Bates to crunch a ton of numbers walking into our Upon Further Review for Monday. So I'm gonna give Matt the rest of the night off to do that.
And we'll see both of you guys tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
We got a short turnaround time.
Yeah, short turnaround. Yeah, we've got ABA basketball tomorrow. Matt and I will be at. I also got St. Louis Community College soccer, men's soccer in the Region 16 semifinals. I believe that's correct. They're taking on East Central College. So that game, the soccer game's at 1 o'clock, basketball game's at 3 o'clock. Check out our Facebook page and our website, livestreamstl.tv, for all that information. Matthew, appreciate you. Jeff, we appreciate you. Ray Halbrook.
Livestream STL is everywhere.
We're everywhere. There you go. Appreciate everybody tuning in all the way through 11 o'clock for For all of us here at Livestream STL, thanks again for watching the post-game show on Livestream STL. My goodness. See y'all next week. Thanks for watching today's broadcast. Any unauthorized use of this broadcast without the express written consent of Livestream STL is strictly prohibited.